This is my Creallity Ender 5 Plus control board. If you wonder what this is, it's like for air to be directed in there. I have a couple of, can you see them blowers on the bottom part? They blow air that way into the PSU. There's a couple of fans on top of the PSU, rings in them. That makes, because the fan noise on these PSUs, meanwhile, these are server fans, well, the noise level is far too much. But this quietens it down a great deal. And this is, I'm going to be fitting an Octopus. Well, I've had it in this printer already. And I designed this. This is very strong, so it's got a lot of struts on it. And these are to go on these, like some where you fasten down control boards. I think, if I remember right, this is for relay to switch the heat bed on and off. That part now, I can't really remember because I haven't used it for so long. But this basically, I'm waiting to line it up. You want the, like almost like triangle of holes here pointing towards the display. I have a TFT 35, I think it's known as, in here, which is on, don't know if you can see it, on this sort of blue support there. That's alright, that's been going a long time. This here is a switch to switch on an LED. I put quite a bit of hot glue around here because the wires kept getting tugged. But anyway, it's for this Big Tree Tech Octopus here. That's what it's for. And with it, doing this, you need to cut a hole in the side, by the way. No, yes, I've got the light on. It's quite a big hole being cut in the side using a Dremel and a cutting wheel. Obviously, you'll have to take parts out, and I had quite a few, well, towels and things to keep the dust down, because with cutting wheels you get quite a bit of dust, or can do, like a Dremel type tool. So that's quite a biggish hole, big enough for this. What part of that hole is for the Big Tree Tech SKR 2 version B I had, but now I've got this Octopus version 1.1. It's not the Pro, it's just version 1.1. Now I just want to mind those wires a bit out the way, a little bit fiddly. And that goes on there's 4 like standoffs here that raise it off the bottom. These ones screwing obviously to the base box, and then 4 screws, 1 in each corner, to screw the Big Tree Tech onto these 4 standoffs, 1 in each corner. Right, I'll put those screws in, then I'll come back. Okay, I'll do the bottom first and make sure you that. One thing I've noticed with this, if you're mucking about with this, you have to watch these. This is for the TFT display that plugs in here. This is a dual display, the Big Tree Tech 35, I think it's known as. And you can have the LCD 128/64 type simulated display, or you can have a graphical display touchscreen. I like the LCD 128/64 because on the touchscreen, if you want, you're having to jab the screen all the time to move up or down quite a distance and stuff like this. Is what I found. In the code you probably could do hold and repeat or something, I don't know. But I just like the LCD 128/64 style, to be honest with you. Seeing the two, well, there's 2 of those blowers blown out over there and into this sort of fan duct there. Right, let's get that screwed on. Well, there we are. I'm using button head Allen balls, M3s by 10mm. You see the hole cutting the side here. Be careful because they are sharp. I've filed this down a bit. Will be doing it like a plate to go in here with the slots in for the SD card and the USB-C, etc, etc, etc. So these are the standoffs. See, supporting very well, quite strong to say the least. So there's a bit of a look. As I say, there's like a fan duct for this blower arrangement that I have on the bottom of the printer to take air in and blow out the front there and into here. And if I move this is the Octopus, Big Tree Tech Octopus version 1.1. Two 80mm fans, holes cut in the lids. These are thermostatically controlled. These ones are on all the time, the power's on. It works well, had it quite long time, and it knocks down the noise level of the main well power supply unit very well. Right, I'll screw this onto these 4 standoffs, 4 screws, again M3s by 10mm. That wire come off, yep, that wire nearly always comes off. That's the reset wire for the TFT display, so make sure you knock that back on when you're putting it back together, because I don't think I've ever known it not to come off when I'm moving stuff about. Oh, by the way, obviously make sure you got the mains unplugged. Although these 2 cable, well, like wires, these are the mains coming in, main switch here, are insulated. See, they've got like a coating on there. There is, I don't know if you can see it, there's a tiny gap there, and there's a bare contact under there that you can touch. Don't you know how I know that, just take my word for it, I know it. Right, I'll get this screwed on, come back and show you what's what. There's the board screwed on. What I normally do is drill out the holes to 2.5mm and then I force a bolt in. That'll cut the threads in the PLA in this case. Take that bolt out and then say put the board on like in this case, and then screw what in this case M3 by 10mm bolts, 1 in each corner. Just make out that one. To help keep the bolts on the screwdriver, I'm using Allen headed button bolts here. A bit of blue tack or white tack. Okay, I would say be careful, double check these plugs, because I found this is for the BL Touch, this white one here. That tends to move about a bit for some reason, and certainly this cable here, especially the reset pin, the whole lot of them for the TFT 35 display can come off. That goes in there. I've got EXP1, which is the one needed chip here, and EXP2 for the LCD 12864, well, simulation of that, I suppose you could call it, away from the main microprocessing chip, which is under here. Just make it out there. I'll say I need a plate putting on here. I'll try and show you. You have to mind these wires when you're putting this board on. Any wires, obviously. So from this side, let's see, shift those wires out the way a bit. So you've got all the sort of ports and that there. So I need a plate, so I need that designing to go onto here. I'll turn this back over and I'll show you that it works basically. So I'll have to move these wires about a bit. As I say, I'm being doubly careful of that one there, that doesn't just drop off. Doesn't hurt anything if it does, just that your touch screen won't connect or something if you're using the touch screen on the TFT 35 from Big Tree Tech. So there we are, put back together. This is plugged in the mains now. There's a USB going to the Raspberry Pi, which is over here. For Octopus, there's a reset button here. There's a memory card slot. There's a USB. I'm not sure what this USB is really for. This is like a CAN bus. That's for expansion. And where's the USB-C? Oh, of course, I've got the USB-C plugged in there into the Raspberry Pi. So I need a plate putting on here to cover most of this up. A lot of these cuts are from, as I say, you had an SKR, Big Tree Tech SKR 1.4, and then I had the Big Tree Tech SKR 2 version B in here, but now I've got this Octopus, Big Tree Tech Octopus 1.1. So there's a bit of a look round. I'll turn it on, show you booting up and that. So as I say, I like the Marlin .1. I do not recommend anything below that. And let's see if I keep this pressed, then I can go on touch mode. Let's see if this works. No printer attached. So I think that if you get this, it's more likely that pins come off inside when you've been putting it back in. So it's a bit fiddly. Don't forget to turn the power off before you do it, before you open up this case. This is a switch for the lights I have up here. I have a strip light. It's the, well, got what they call an LED connect. There we are. 2 rows there, 12 volts. I have a buck converter from the 24 volt to the 12 volts for that. I'm hoping to have that wired up to a MOSFET. I do have a MOSFET set up here off the Raspberry Pi, so I can switch it on, this light on and off remotely as well as on here. This is an LED that comes on when those two 80mm fans on the PSU come on, to let me know that's come on. These are just some Big Tree Tech BL Touch Marlin inside Octo print and dual gear feeding Capricorn tubing. Okay, the thing for the temperature and humidity, just a cheap thing, never really look at it honestly. That's okay. I need to get that wire back on. I'll do that and come back and show you that does work. Right, about to turn it on. And I've got the touch screen. Now it might say no printer attached, but after a few seconds it should come on. There we are. Fade height, I don't know what, I have a clue what's on about there, to be honest. But now the touch screen is working. See there, I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to muck about with this at the moment because it's not, I haven't screwed the panel back on the bottom or screwed it into the sanction rods or whatever you call them here. So as I say, I have a buck converter, 24 to 12 volt for the LEDs and any other 12 volt. I have a 12 volt fan over there with filters on. And this is my MOSFET box, which I hope to be able to control this LED light remotely off. There is a light plug-in and there's a GPIO plug-in. There's a few plugins which I tried earlier, but that was on an earlier version of Marlin and an earlier version of Python, I believe, and it would not work. I don't know about now because I haven't tried them. Those are both in Octopus. Well, there's a couple more in Octopus, especially with lights. You can have, you know, multicoloured displays under control, etc, etc. That's okay. That's just to show you that board there. So you've got pipe, USB pipe plugged in here, USB-C, memory card in there, SD card. I'd say I'm not sure if I know what this USB is. When you've got USB-C, that's what I know. This is normal USB-C and a CAN bus, and there is a reset button over here somewhere, very small. Not the best of jobs. Make sure you do file this down a bit. Okay, well, there will be a plate on here to tidy that up. Yep, man, the LCD 12864 sort of simulated display, I believe the term it has, but just works like an LCD 12864 and this dual display is what I normally have it on. I'll do auto home, show you that it's working. I've got the LED on here. Yeah. So then it's going to light. And then it's going to raise the Z up until it touches on the BL touch. I'll come back when it's done that. We're getting here. Yeah, see a bit of a touch there, touch it off. So here's the, I don't know, control box I suppose. Big hole in here for the Octopus. 8 legs, 8 drivers you can have. And this is bigger than it needs to be, but I made this plate here. And I'm going to glue this on here. Line it up and glue, get it glued on. That's going to be quite difficult because I want to line it, well, a bit of flexibility. I can, yep, I can. You might just hear the button being pressed there. Can I show you both? I'll get that glued on there. No, no, come back. I'm just going to use super glue, maybe some Yoo-hoo glue. Quite often I'll put a bit of super glue on. And that helps tack it in position than some cheap Yoo-hoo glue. Stick it, but super glue is okay. Just hold that on for a few seconds, pressing it on. I just use a cheap, what we term as Poundland, like Dollar Tree in US, I believe. CA glue. I don't know if it's proudly named super glue, but that says super glue. Stick it super glue. Now on the inside I might put some hot glue around the edges of the inside to make sure that any sharp edges, although I have filed this metal down on the edges after cutting it with a Dremel cutting disc, it does leave sharp edges on, especially these angles here that come to a point, and I've took off those points, so to speak, with a file on the inside. But might, as I say, I might put like a layer of hot glue around the edge that will help hold that in, but also help protect if you're working from the inside. Basically that's it. I'll just show you that the reset works just now. Let that set a few more seconds. Right, let's see if we can get this memory card in and out. There is a bit of a like indent in the plastic here. I've got I wish they had this like the old ones, you used to press it in and it used to spring out. These you just slide in and out. Somebody's got dry super glue on me. So USB goes in okay, the USB-C. See if we can reset it. Put it up first. Can't see with the light on. The light dazzles up the display. Let's see if we reset it. Yep, no problems there. This is memory card at the moment. SD card. Micro SD.